Many people jump into poultry farming because they see others doing well and think it must be easy. But they often don't take the time to understand what's really happening behind the scenes. It's like seeing a beautiful house and deciding to build one yourself without realizing that house was built step by step with careful planning, skill, and patience. Too many beginners try to skip the process and rush to success, but that usually leads to failure. If you want to be one of the few who actually succeed in poultry farming, watch this video until the end. I'll take you through the small but important steps that make a big difference and how to put them together the smart way, just like a skilled builder. This way, you can build a profitable poultry business and move closer to financial freedom faster than you might expect. To start, you need to decide what type of poultry you want to raise. Do you want layers for eggs, broilers for meat, or birds that give both? Choose based on what people around you need most. Visit local markets, talk to sellers and buyers, and find out what's in demand and what brings better profit. Next, be clear about your goals. Do you want a small setup at home for some extra income? Or are you dreaming of a large farm that supplies eggs or meat to shops, hotels, or restaurants? Also, think about your finances. What are your short-term goals? A bit of side income? And in the long term, are you aiming for a stable business that leads to financial freedom? Having a clear vision from the beginning will help you stay focused, make better decisions, and avoid costly mistakes along the way. Once you know what you want, take some time to look into your market. Who will be buying your chickens or eggs? Will it be people from your neighborhood, local shops, restaurants, or egg dealers? What are the current prices like in your area? And who else is selling what you want to sell? Try to learn from them. See what they're doing well and where they're falling short. This kind of research helps you understand what sells quickly and how to price your products smartly. Next, put together a simple plan. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. Just get a notebook or a piece of paper and write down the basics. How much money will you need to get started? How many birds do you want to raise? How much will you spend on their feed and housing? How much do you expect to earn after selling your eggs or chickens? And it's also good to write down your main goal and your vision for your poultry farm. This small step can give you a clearer picture and save you from surprises later on. Choosing the right location for your farm is just as important as everything else. You need a quiet place, far from noise, pollution, and where people live. Good road access is a must so that buyers and suppliers can reach you easily. You also need to be close to clean water and electricity, or you can use solar power if that's easier. Your birds will need drinking water and good lighting, especially when they're young or when hens are laying. A good location can make a big difference in keeping your chickens healthy and helping your business grow faster. Your birds also need a safe and comfortable place to live. So the next thing to do is prepare a good poultry house. Use strong materials like wood, poles, iron sheets, or blocks, something that can handle rain, heat, and wind. Ventilation is really important. You want fresh air coming in and out of the house, but it shouldn't get too hot or too cold inside. Also, make sure there's enough space. If you pack too many birds into one area, they'll get stressed and sick. Every bird needs enough room to move around freely. The house should protect them from the rain, the hot sun, and animals like rats, snakes, and wild birds that might try to get in. Now, you have two main options for how to keep your birds. One is the deep litter system. That's where the birds stay on the ground, which is covered with things like sawdust or rice husks. This option is cheaper and easier, especially for beginners. The other option is using battery cages. These are more expensive, but they're cleaner and work really well if you're focusing on egg production. Just pick the one that matches your budget and what you want your farm to do. Once the house is ready, it's time to get the equipment your birds will use every day. You'll need feeders and drinkers so your birds can eat and drink cleanly. If you're starting with chicks, you'll also need a heat source to keep them warm. You can use charcoal, gas, or electric brooders for that. Light is another thing you shouldn't forget. Chicks need light during brooding because it helps them eat even at night. And laying hens need about 14 to 16 hours of light a day to lay eggs well. If you're raising layers, you'll also need egg trays or crates to collect and store the eggs safely. And don't forget cleaning tools like brushes, buckets, and disinfectants. Keeping things clean is one of the most important parts of poultry farming. It's best to get all this equipment before your birds arrive, not after. Now comes the heart of your poultry business, the birds themselves. Whether you're buying day-old chicks or pullets that are almost ready to lay, make sure you're getting them from a trusted hatchery or supplier. Ask other farmers who they buy from. The chicks you buy should be vaccinated and healthy. Look for birds that are active, have clean eyes, and can stand properly. Avoid buying from random roadside sellers, even if the price is lower. It might save you money today, but it can cost you your whole farm later on. Quality birds make all the difference. If you're starting with chicks, you also need to prepare a special area called a brooder. This is where the chicks will stay for the first few weeks of their life. Get this space ready at least a week before the chicks arrive. Clean it well and disinfect everything. Put down bedding on the floor, like wood shavings or rice husks. Set up the heat source and make sure the temperature is just right. Arrange the feeders and drinkers in a way that all chicks can reach them easily. When the chicks arrive, they're very delicate. If they don't feel warm and safe, they can easily get stressed or even die. So take time and do this part well. It's really important for their survival and for the success of your farm. Feeding your birds the right way is one of the most important parts of poultry farming. In fact, more than 70% of your expenses will go into feeding, so you really need to get it right. You can either buy ready-made feed from a trusted supplier or mix your own if you've been trained and you know the correct ingredients to use. The kind of feed your birds need depends on their age and what type of birds you're raising. Chicks need starter feed to help them grow strong in the early stages. As they grow, young birds need grower feed. If you're raising layers, they need special layer feed with enough calcium to help them lay eggs with strong shells. Broilers, which are raised for meat, need different feeds at different stages, starting with broiler starter, then grower feed, and finally finisher feed before they're ready to sell. It's also important not to feed too much or too little. Giving them too much just wastes money. Giving them too little slows down their growth or reduces the number of eggs they lay. Try to follow a regular feeding schedule and keep an eye on their weight or egg production so you know when to adjust. And don't forget clean water. Make sure your birds have fresh drinking water every single day. Keeping the farm clean is just as important. A dirty poultry house can be very dangerous because germs grow quickly in waste, dirty water, or leftover food. So you've got to stay on top of it. Sweep and remove waste from the house every day. Wash the feeders and drinkers every morning, and wash the drinkers again in the evening because they get dirty fast, especially the small ones. If you are using automatic or bell drinkers, they're easier to manage. Change the bedding or litter when it gets too wet or starts to smell. Try to keep out rats, flies, and wild animals. Don't let strangers walk into your farm either. The cleaner your farm, the healthier your birds will be, and the fewer birds you'll lose. Even with good cleaning habits, birds can still get sick, so you need to be one step ahead. Make sure your birds are vaccinated on time. If you're not sure when to do it, ask your hatchery for a vaccination schedule and follow it closely. Also, give your birds dewormers and vitamins regularly, especially when the weather changes or if your birds seem stressed. Watch them closely. If you notice they're not eating well, they look weak, they're coughing, or their droppings look strange, don't ignore it. Act fast. Poultry diseases can spread quickly and wipe out hundreds of birds in just a few days. Another important habit is keeping good records. You don't need anything fancy, just a notebook, or even your phone will do. Write down how much feed you're using every day or every week, how many eggs you collect or how many birds you sell, any birds that die, and if you know the reason, and all the money you spend or earn. These notes help you know if you're making a profit, they help you spot problems early, and they make it easier to plan and grow your business. Even if you're a small farmer, keeping good records will help you grow faster than someone who doesn't keep track of anything. Another very important thing is finding reliable buyers. It's not just about having eggs or chickens ready. You need people who will actually buy them and buy from you regularly. The best place to start is right around you. Talk to schools, food vendors, small shops, roadside sellers, hotels, and restaurants in your area. Go to the local market and see who's buying in bulk. Try to connect with egg dealers or chicken sellers. When you find someone who might be a good customer, be friendly, be honest, and make sure you always deliver on time. Price your products fairly, not too high to scare people away, and not too low that you lose money. If your eggs or chickens are clean, fresh, and consistent, people will come back again and again. Good customers are just as valuable as good birds, so treat them well. Now let's talk about profit. Running a farm without checking your numbers is just guessing, and guessing doesn't last long in business. You need to know how much money you're actually making. Add up everything you've spent. That includes the cost of chicks, feed, medicine, housing, and even labor if you're paying someone. Then subtract that total from what you earned through sales. What's left is your real profit. Don't just focus on how much money came in, focus on what's left after all the spending, Also check if you've reached your break-even point, which is when your income covers all your costs. After that point, every extra sale is pure profit. Try to track your profit weekly or monthly so you stay in control. When money starts coming in, it's tempting to grow fast, but smart farmers grow slowly and wisely. Reinvest part of your profit back into the farm. Maybe buy more birds, improve your poultry house, or get better equipment, but only add more birds when you're sure you can manage them well and feed them properly. If you grow too fast without planning, you could lose control and end up with losses. If you can, learn how to mix your own feed. This can save you a lot over time. And don't throw away chicken waste. Sell it to crop farmers as manure. It's a simple way to make extra money. Growing step by step helps you avoid stress, debt, and failure. Now, one thing many people forget: never stop learning. Farming isn't guesswork. It's a serious business, and things keep changing. Try to attend training sessions from agricultural centers or NGOs. Visit other farms and see how they're doing things. Sometimes just looking around can give you better ideas. Watch farming videos on YouTube, read books, or follow experienced farmers online. And don't be shy. Ask questions and be willing to try new methods that are proven to work. The more you learn, the better your farm will run. Another smart habit is to manage your money well. Always save some money for emergencies, like if disease hits your birds or feed prices go up suddenly. Reinvest part of your profit instead of spending it all. Use it to grow your business slowly. Maybe buy your own land or better equipment, and if possible, diversify. You could raise other animals like goats or fish. You could use chicken manure to plant crops, or even start something related, like making your own feed or packaging eggs. That way, even if one part of the farm doesn't do well, the others will keep your income going. And as your farm grows, you'll realize you can't do everything alone. So train others, maybe family members, young people who are interested in farming, or any workers you hire. You can also partner with other farmers. You might join hands to buy feed in bulk, share transport, or even market your products together. Working together helps you save money and grow faster. Farming is always better when it's done with teamwork, shared knowledge, and support. If you take your time, follow the steps we've discussed patiently, and stay consistent, your poultry farm can grow into a reliable source of income and even lead you to wealth and financial freedom. Thanks for being here. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on poultry farming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.